Okay, so you guys can see my screen, right? You guys see my code, IntelliJ? I mean, no, it's Python. And feel free to unmute yourself if you guys have any questions or have anything to say. Okay, so the first three topics we're gonna go over today is some basic libraries that's commonly used in finance. The first one is NumPy, the second one is Pandas, and the third one is Matplotlib. These packages are sort of interconnected because sometimes you can use one in the other. Like you can use some data structures, say in like NumPy or Pandas, and plot it with Matplotlib. And Pandas is actually built off of NumPy. Okay, so NumPy it's a really nice collection of data structures that allow you to store arrays. Okay, so here, let's just comment that out. So the first thing you need to do is you need to import NumPy, and you can put add as you guys. Okay, you can import NumPy. In Python, something you can do is you can do as keyword and change what you call it. You can put anything here. So like num, if you want to short it to num, do num dot something. We could do, the most common is np because it's nice and short. And with Python, you want to save a lot of time. Python is meant to save a lot of time in coding. Okay, so now how do you create an array? So you can actually take a list and convert it into array. So first I'll create a list. And so this is a 4x1, this will be a 4x1 matrix for NumPy. So x equals NumPy dot array. So this constructs a NumPy array object. And it's sort of like what you typically think of arrays, like in Java or just in programming in general. However, NumPy has a lot of like computational support and vectorized operation, which is, oh, hello. Okay, so here you can create a list, and then let's print x. Oops, wrong one. So you can see here it's a 1x4 array. Well, it's like sort of like a matrix. Now something you can do is you can actually have a list of lists. So to create a 2D array, you can do 1, 2. So you need a list of 2 lists. So it's a list within a list. And so what this does is it takes each list and turns it into a NumPy row. So now if we print x, oh, I forgot a comma here. So yeah, it's a list of lists, so you need a comma. So now it is a 2x2 array, as you can see here. And so how do you access these? Okay, so you can even do 3x3 array. If you can see here, you have a list. So you have a, so you have a list of lists of lists. So you have a list here. This is one list. And then this is a matrix right here. This is matrix, one matrix. We put a comma, we put a second matrix. And how do you access these elements? It's kind of weird. So let's access the first element. Oops. Okay, so you usually have like 3 things like for each dimensionality. So right now this is a 3-dimensionality. Let's just Okay, so let's work with two-dimensionality. It's three. You can go up to like infinite dimensions because you can have arrays of, can have like collections of matrices and a collection of collection matrices, and you can just increase the dimension forever. Just okay. So how do we access the one? So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first dimensionality is like row wise. So this is 0, like, and if you remember in programming, typically indexing is accessed using array indexing is usually starts at 0. Okay, so this is 0 and this is 1. So if we want to get the 1, how this? Let's just get the 1, 2. So 1, and then so that gets the first row. And how do we get both of these elements? Well, you can do something with a colon. So this basically what it does is like 0 to. Okay, so this is, if you just leave a colon blank, this is what it is. So this is a 0th element. So first you get the first. So first you access the first element here. Then you go within this, and then you access this from the 0th to the last element. So it gets these two elements. Oops. I don't know, I put a 1 there. What? I'm just kidding. It's not working. Okay, there, we got it. I don't know, it's -1. Oh wait, no, never mind. If you do -1, it's the 1 to the last. Okay, so you can just leave it blank, and what it does is it like goes to the ends, like, so this is like the 2 is the right end. So if you just leave it blank, it just goes from the 0th index, 1 here, and then goes to the right hand end, just gets the 2 included. So if you see here, it's a 1 and 2. But if you can just leave it like that and you still get it, because it goes from the left to the right and it gets all the elements in here. And so how do we get 3 and 4? Do that. So this is 0, then we go to 1 here. 3, so we got the 3 and the 4. We can just leave it blank and it automatically, so we don't have to index, you don't even have index of it, just get the first one. So we got the 3 and 4 if you see here. Like, you don't really use NumPy much in finance unless you're doing a heavy machine learning and statistical computation. So even if you don't understand this, it's fine. So just get rid of that. Okay, let's do pandas. If you see what that autofill, that is because I have kite installed. I'll post it in the chat. It's super useful. It's super useful ID automation. Height. So like sometimes your PyCharm, like it's nice, it autocompletes sometimes, but it's not fully comprehensive in its autocomplete capabilities. So what I use is Kite, and that's how I did import pandas as PD. Usually if I just had IntelliJ, if I just had PyCharm. If I just had PyCharm, it just do import like PA, and then it like autocomplete for pandas. However, but like Kite like helps you autocomplete much better. Okay, so let's create a data frame. So let's do x equals pd dot data frame. So data frame is a data structure that allows you to store rows and columns and column names. Okay, so let's create a matrix, like create a 2 by 2. That's weird. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. Like if you passed in a NumPy array for that, it'd probably still work. here. So these are the row indices. So this is a zero, like first row, well, like the 0th row in computer science, the first row. And so we have column names here. However, like since we did not specify column names, it just defaults to integers 0 and 1. So how do we specify column names? So there's a keyword argument that you can add in Python. I mean, no, add it for pandas, data frames. Columns equals, so I ate 1 and 3 something here. Let's do apples eaten. And let's do something stupid first. The IQ of the communists. Okay, so this could be represent like one person. So yeah, that makes no sense. IQ. So say each row is a person. And so this is a first person that we've logged. And so he eaten 1 apple and his IQ is 2. And then the second person ate 3 apples and his IQ is 4. So let's say we also want to keep track of the time that we logged these people. And create a new row with x. So there's an index object. So this is how this will be the time that we survey them. 0, 2, 2010. Actually, don't know if this works. Oh, it works. Nice. Okay, so let's say we served a person here, and then we get this data here. And so this allows us to do time series work. You can see here. So this is really nice. And so how do we access things? So to access a column, like say we want the apples eaten, what we can do is like it's the same way you access stuff like with dictionaries. You give a thing. So it's apples eaten. So to make sure that we get the exact same string, the apples eaten, and copy paste it, and then it selects. And so we get the column for apples eaten. Okay, so let's add a new column. Let's say weight. Oh, shoot. So 100 and 200. Someone's 100 pounds and 2. Let's add another column. Obviously, if we don't care about their weight and we only wanted apples eaten and IQ, so what we can do is select multiple things. Oops. Oh, so when you access multiple things, you have to put it in a list. Okay, so this is indexing. Well, it's multiple square brackets, but try not to be confused. So I'm just passing in a list here, and so I'm just passing in a list of all the. Assertion. Oh, 1 second. Oh, it's not a comma. I'm just kidding. So this is sort of like NumPy. You do the colon. What the shit? I have no idea why. Am I running? Something wrong. Let's do white. Oh, I think. Whatever, let's just skip that. Sorry. I thought, I have no idea. No, I think I did something. Oh, wait, I think there's something wrong with this. Oh, oh, I know. Sorry. Oh, wait, yeah, so, okay, there. Apparently, okay, so I didn't actually know this, but it takes each of these lists and make it into a call. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the problem there is I had like a 3x2 instead of a 2x3. So like each of these need to correspond to an element here. So you can see here. So there's 3 elements, and then there's 3 column names. Here you have 3 elements, 3 column names. So you need a list of, you can add as many, but make sure they're all dimension of 3, like that. I mean, no, like a 1x3. So okay, now okay. Now what I was trying to do should work now. Okay, so you can see here, if you do not specify a like valid string, like I put apples, but instead of apples eaten, like you cannot index something that does not exist. Okay, so now you can see here, I've indexed only 2 columns here. And so this kind of looks weird. So let's just really make it explicit. Okay, list columns wanted. So that the double square brackets don't look super weird. Okay, so this also works. You just pass in the list of all the stuff you want. And you can even skip over IQ by putting weight. So it's, see? So even though IQ is in the middle, you put a comma and you just complete this. Okay, now so that's a, how to index a column. So how do we index a row? There's 2 ways. So the first way we can do is iLook, and that stands for integer locating. So if we want the first column, we do column 0. So we got the first column, and you can see it corresponds here, 1 to 100. Yeah, 1 to 100 here. And then how do we, but however, we do have a, how do we want to index by, see, as you can see here, we have our own special index. We have a date as an index. So how do we index, access a row using that data? So instead we can do loc, stands for pretty sure stands for location or something like that. Just say it's row indexing. Just think about loc as row indexing by like whatever data you put in there for the index, and iLoc, it's the same thing as loc, except it's based on the integer location. You see, like we got the same thing. This is the same as this. Okay, so that's basically all you really need to know about pandas. So here's a trick if you need to figure something out in pandas. Okay, so pandas, this is how you figure something out when you don't know something. Like pandas read from CSV. Just, no, gotta look for Stack Overflow. Yeah, you just Google it. Okay, so I basically taught you guys like the basics of what you guys know. Let me think about something else though. Oh, let's do something fancy. Oh yeah, let's do some computations. Put this as 200. Okay, so now we have two entries here, right? We have two people. Like this is one person's data and this is another person's data. So how do we average the average rate? Okay, so, oh, sorry, excuse me. So what do we need is, so what do we need to, so now we need, how do we get the average rate? So what do we need to do is choose a column. Let's do weight. And then do some function. Okay, so you see here, what's the average of like 100 plus 200? That's the mean formula if you guys don't know. So 100 plus 200 is 300. And when you take 300 divided by 2, that's 150. And so you can see here that it does get the mean. There's a bunch of other computations you can do, like kurtosis. You can do standard deviation, ST-def. I can't remember what exactly, something like that. And you can do a bunch of computations on a column, and you can get data on it. Okay, that's about it for pandas. Let's do some matplotlib. Okay, import .pyplot. It's PLP. So let's see if there's a correlation between eating apples and IQ. So let's just copy this. Okay, so how do we? Oh shit, we didn't actually do that. Okay, so we want to plot two rows of data against two columns of data against each other. So what we can do is specify it. So we're comparing apples eaten with. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guess if none of this makes sense, if something doesn't make sense, make sure you can mute the chat or type in the chat any questions, and I'm very happy to answer. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, I'm sharing the figure. Okay, do you guys see that? This? You guys see it? Or type in the chat or something. You guys see this figure thing? Yes. Can someone press the yes button? Hello? Is anyone? Okay, that's about it for Matplotlib.
Yeah, we can see it. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. That's so quick. Okay, do you guys have any questions? Yeah, let me go over something that you guys want to know about these libraries. Here, someone tell me something. So I basically covered the super simple basics. That basically much of what you need to know. And you can just easily build off this information. Oh yeah, let's do histogram. Okay. How do you make a histogram? Okay, if you guys know histogram, it's basically distribution. Okay, let's do something. So x equals NumPy. Oh yeah. NumPy. Let's do like random dot normal. Here, once again, I forgot. Okay, so first we put in the mean, the standard deviation. Let's do the standard deviation too, and how many you want. And let's do plt dot hist. Hist stands for histogram x. That's another type of graphic. So you can see here. So I just created a normal distribution here, or a random normal distribution here. That has a mean of 2, a standard deviation of mean of 0, standard deviation of 2, and 1,000 values. And let's see what it looks like. Looks like that. It's a normal distribution, if you guys see. Okay, let me tell a joke. I hope this will make people interested. Okay, so a researcher wants to see the effects of different IQs on a person's ability to problem solve. And so he was walking through the streets in New York, and fortunately, he got enough people in the high IQ range, in the middle IQ range. However, he was still missing one person in the low IQ range. So he goes up to a man and says, "Sir, not to be disrespectful, but if you consider yourself low IQ, we need you for a study that is greatly beneficial to humanity." The man he asked responded, "Oh, I'm an economist," he said offendedly. He said, yeah, I don't know. And then the researcher said, "Perfect." You guys get it? Okay.
That was pretty good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Okay. Oh, I can do share screen. Holy shit. You guys can see, okay. You guys can see like all the windows, right? Oh, shit. Oh, what do you not get? Hey, Booty, what do you not get?
I think the joke.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me say it again. Okay. It's important for me to. Okay, so a researcher is gathering people of different IQ ranges for a study on the effects of the IQ on problem solving. So he goes around and asks random people in the street to see if they want to be part of this study. He is fortunate enough to have easily found people of high IQ ranges, of middle IQ ranges, but he still needed one person of a low IQ. So he goes up to this one man and says, "Not to be rude, sir, but if you are low IQ, we would love you to be in a study that would help humanity." And so the man responded, "Oh, I'm an economist. How dare you?" And then the researcher said, "Perfect." Okay. Sorry. Okay. Here, how this is another one. What do you call a failing engineering student? A failing engineering student who has like a 2.0 GPA. You call a failing engineering student a future stellar business student. Shit, that was kind of bad. Okay, whatever. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is the fun part. We're gonna code a strategy. Okay, so shit. Okay, don't look at this. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the first 2 lines. Okay, from Yahoo Fin dot stock and the objective. You guys can see just my screen in general, right? No? You guys see my screen in general? Hello?
Yeah, we see the Chrome right now.
Okay, that's nice. There's a new share off. I changed the new share off. Okay, let me. Okay, the objective to implement a strategy where you buy on Fridays. So buy on open on Mondays, sell on close on Fridays. You short on open, buy back, cover short. Okay, so this is a very basic strategy. So like say like there's a bunch of traders, right? It's Monday, right? They're fresh. They probably hate their jobs, but they're fresh. And so they might be, no, let's do Tuesday. Everyone hates. Okay, Tuesday. Okay, so they're fresh. They're like not too stressed out by work yet. And so they're bullish during the day, right? And so they might buy more stocks and that might propel stocks higher. And then on Fridays, everyone's they don't want to worry about your stock positions over the weekend, right? So more people might just close out their positions. So more people short. More people sell their positions, then that'll cause the market to go down on Fridays. So you short the market on open immediately before everyone else starts selling, so they don't have to worry about their stocks over the weekend. And then you cover the short on close. Okay, so oops. Okay, so can you guys can copy the first 3 lines. Okay, so I want you guys to think about it, and then I'll go over this. Like, think about it. Like, first, I want you guys to like do it. Yeah, just do it on your own computer. Excuse me. And then I'll go over like the answers or help you guys along the way. Okay, so here, let me just give you guys. Okay, so how do you iterate over? You can do for x. How do you iterate over? So the x is a data frame. So let's just do print. So let's just see what this data frame looks like. So okay, so you have the open. So you have a bunch of columns: open, high, low, close, and a bunch of these data. You have the dates here. And so this is what it looks like. So what you want to do on a Tuesday is buy on this open, buy at this price, then close at this price. And then on the Fridays, you want to short at this price and buy on this price. Okay, so here's some hints. Here, let me write out some hints. So you will need a for loop to iterate over rows of x. Okay, how this? Everyone start with the for loop. Just create the for loop. That will be like the first, one of the first steps. So if everyone, okay. Yeah, here I'll just give you guys like 3 minutes. Okay, and this will test your Googling skills. You can Google this, like how to iterate over arrays, over data frames and stuff like that. And so I'll give everyone 3 minutes, and then I'll go over the answer of how to create the for loop. So I'll give, or just work on a general. So Well, in a way to test if it is working, you can do like, so let's say this. This is a quick way to debug your, see if it's working. Okay, hopefully you guys all figure it out by now. Did anyone does anyone still need time on figuring this out? Just put it like no button. Here, how about this? Everyone who finished creating the for loop, put a yes button. Do the yes button. Yeah, I did it. It's under participants. Or type yes in the chat. Is everyone done yet? So nobody's reacting. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the for loop. Okay, so for date and x dot index. Did everyone get that? Okay, now after that we have to commit. Next, okay, so we also need something to log our trades. So let's do trade stat logger. Oops. And let's do. Okay, so so now what we want to do is, so we need to buy on Tuesdays. So how to figure out it's Tuesday? Well, the dates stored in the index, in these index objects are like some sort of Pandas date object. So what we need to do is like say, change this to D. So let's date equals d dot 2 pi date time. Pi date time. So that just converts it from like the pandas object wrapping the data. And so this gives us a date time dot weekday. Okay, so it ranges. Okay, so our data frame only ranges from 0 to it only ranges from Monday to Friday because the markets are obviously closed on Saturdays. And so the Yahoo Fin automatically I think it automatically deletes all the days where it's Saturday and Sunday, so we don't have to worry about Saturday and Sunday. Date. Okay, so we got the date. Okay, so let's get the day of week. Day of week. Date dot weekday. And so this function, what it basically does is it gives us a 0 to 6 integer where 0 is Monday, 1 is Tuesday, 2 is Wednesday, and so forth. And so I just got the day of the week. So how do we know if it's Tuesday? So let's compare day of week, one. Then we do something. Let's just do pass right now. Okay, so elif day of week equal 4, we do something. So you can see 1 is Tuesday. So how do we short something? Let's do that right now. Okay, so let's short something. Okay, let's do logger dot log APL equals AAPL. Actually, it's here. So let's buy hundreds. So we want to buy 100. So let's get the share price. How do we get the share price of the open close? Open. Okay, so to do that, as you remembered earlier, you can locate it and use. You can index it with a date, and you can locate is basically like whatever you put in there. Like usually you put like a date time, and so you can access. So these are like all rows, and you can index each of these rows using a date. So I'm just gonna put in a date, and however, this gives us an open, high, low, close, just close, blah blah blah. It gives us all this information. So how do we get just the open? So we can just select the open. Let's do close price. So same thing, but now we want to get to close. Okay, so we buy it at the open. And then we want to close it. We want to sell it at the end of the day at the close price. Okay, if something doesn't make sense, please tell me. Shares equals negative 100. So we bought 100 earlier, and so how do we short? We put negative. But now, okay. Okay, so on Friday, what we do is just short. Okay, and that is how we do it. Okay, let's see how this algorithm goes. I have not tried it. Let's see how it does. It is quite a bad strategy. Let's increase the time frame. This was only for a month. Let's do it over a year. Oh, it doesn't do. Oh, we made 5K off the strategy. Okay, okay. Does this all make sense? Is there any questions you guys have? Do you guys have any questions? No questions here. Just type any questions you might have in the chat. Okay, so I did add all of you guys to the Slack channel. Yeah. So if you guys do have a question, feel free to ask me in the Slack channel. You can also email me. Okay, thanks for coming, guys. I think that'll be it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Okay, does anyone? Okay, I'll just stay here for like 10 minutes to see if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to meet to go over something again. And if you guys like missed something, if you came in late or anything like that, I can go over whatever. No questions? Okay, I can also do anything that you guys ask me, like that isn't like I can build. I don't know. If you guys want to see some, like have me do something cool or something like that. No. Okay. I hope all of you guys have a good day. Okay. Here, here, let me add. Okay, so I'll add.